Hello, my name is Utkarsh Narayan, and today I will be speaking to you all about the topic ethnography. The term ethnography has come to be equated with virtually any qualitative research project where the intent is to provide a detailed, in-depth description of everyday life and practice. Ethnography may be defined as a qualitative research process, a method, as well as a product whose aim is cultural interpretation. Ethnographers generate understandings of culture through the representation of the insider's point of view. To gain this insider's point of view, they actually insert themselves into the daily lives of the people, of the culture or the group they are trying to research on. They assimilate themselves into the lives of these people and live out their entire fieldwork as part of this group. Long-term engagement in the field setting or place where the ethnography takes place is called participant observation. This is perhaps the primary source of ethnographic data. This calls out the dual role of the ethnographer. They have to participate with the people they're researching on, but at the same time, they have to maintain a keen and detached observation on the entire ordeal. This does not necessarily mean that the ethnographers cannot become advocates for the people they're studying. Typically, they spend months or even years in the places where they conduct their researches, often forming lasting bonds with the people. Most anthropologists today point to Bronislaw Malinowski as a kind of a founding father to the ethnographic fieldwork. Given that so much of ethnographic fieldwork depends on the researcher's own experience and perspective, it matters where the researcher stands related to the process of their own fieldwork. That means not only whether or not you might consider yourself as an insider or an outsider to a group that may be your focus, but also the attitudes and or preconceptions that you bring to that study. It is unavoidably true that the tension between objectivity and subjectivity cannot be ignored in this particular research method. Ethnography can be very time consuming. You have to insert yourself into the group you're researching and try to understand their viewpoints and progress accordingly. The participant observer attitude is taken forward in your fieldwork. These observations are kept as records as to your observations and are consulted over and over again. These notes will go through a number of iterations during and after fieldwork. Researchers also take interviews. They provide targeted data collection opportunities by asking specific but open-ended questions to the subjects of the group. In these notes is where the patterns start to emerge, so this is where the actual analysis can be said to be done. Ethnographic fieldwork is the primary research. Keep in handy a small notebook at all times to jot down notes. Ethnographers will never stop writing. They are always dependent on your field notes, and this is what will make your ethnographic research a success. Who are the key actors in this context? What happens in this given place and time? Where do I find the subject of my study? When do the things happen? How do these things happen? Why did this thing happen? By asking yourself these questions over and over again on the field, you can take better notes. As said before, the notes you take in the field will go through multiple iterations even after fieldwork is done. You need to be intimate with your notes, deconstruct and analyze them over and over again until patterns start to emerge. You'll find many gaps in your work, and this is the time to fill in those gaps. Remember, even though these notes started out just for yourself, but ultimately you must represent things so that other people can experience through your account what you encountered. References used are A Simple Introduction to the Practice of Ethnography and Guide to Ethnographic Field Notes by Brian A. Hoy. Thank you. That was my presentation on ethnographic research method.